He has helped thousands of people around the world discover the strongest version of themselves. Welcome to the Wolf Official Show. And now, here's your host, Carl Wolfgang Schultz.
What's going on, everybody? It's Carl here. Hope you're having a good day. I've been up to a lot. Let's just put it that way. And so one of those things I like to do on these podcast episodes when I have time is I like to talk about what's working for me and what's not. Because let's be honest, we all just want to get ahead in life and we want to be successful. And success is not just money. It can be success with fulfilling your own promises and keeping the promises that you make to yourself. You're going to notice that I steal a lot of information from the people that I look up to, and I just pass it right down onto you. So it's not like any of this is new, I don't think. It's just new to me, and so I get excited about it and I share it with you. But I don't really take credit for a lot of this stuff. So I'm not some like magical human being that comes up with these amazing theories. But I do learn from other people's habits that I follow in books and podcasts and YouTube videos and the Bible. I read a lot. And I'm always trying to help other people, and they can tell. I think I personally used to get jealous a lot of other people, but now I don't, because everyone's got a way of making things work for themselves. And one of the things I'll probably be known for is I'm a nice guy, that's cool and everything, but I love music. I love to make music, and I love to help other people, and I love to make my brand Wolf Official grow even more. I'm really into technology. I work a normal day job, and I love to save money. I like to go to church. I like to read books in my spare time. I love to produce music, and I'm really big into education and reading and growing and stuff like that. And some of the things I want to help you out with, if you don't already know, it's that just because you read a book once doesn't mean you know exactly what that book's about. I made the effort to read many books in my life, and it wasn't until I read it the second or third time or even the fourth time that I really got what I needed out of the book. And yeah, there's some books that have certain amount of knowledge that you just don't want to look at it again, or it might take some time for you to get back to it. But you shouldn't give up on those. Sometimes more other books become more important to you, and just at that time, other books that you want to read. So what's been working for me lately is I'm definitely doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is keeping a job. And I noticed that if anybody's out there listening, you have a job to do. Everyone's got their job, and it's important that you stick with that. And if you don't like it, you don't just quit. You don't just give up like I used to. You work on getting a better paying job. You should always be increasing your income, at least as you get older. I think as you get older, you should be increasing your money. And it's also statistically proven that the older you get, the more you make. So that's kind of that. But another myth is going to school, going to get a college degree. Time will only tell if it actually pays off, but just so you know, you don't have to go to a big university. You can go to a big community college just as easily. There is a lot of money when you go to big universities, and it can get pricey really quick. And again, the whole point of going to a university is so you can make money, right? That's the end goal. If you have to be a doctor, or you want to be a doctor only because some people's families pressure their kids into being doctors and whatnot, you definitely need to go to college. I would want someone working on me that's qualified, but just as easily, or more importantly, is self-education. I mean, if you can prove yourself like how the real world works by getting a job and working for X number of years, you can demonstrate through your experience, that you're qualified. So school knowledge is important. I've noticed that it does give me some sort of confidence, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the most qualified for the job, because you cannot make the mistake of thinking that a college degree automatically puts you in front of the list, because it doesn't. You have to be good in a lot of different areas, such as communication. For me, I learned that customer service is huge. Alongside that, it was my attitudes of working with other people. For a while, I used to work with customers who were business to customers, meaning they weren't business to business. In other words, they were, I was working a cash register, and those were my customers, right? I was dealing directly with the customers. Now I'm fortunate enough to be working with people who are store managers, and I'm not going to mention the company that I work for, but I'm just trying to show you there's different levels to experience. So yeah, it sucks. Nobody wants to work, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow. However, the financial rewards are a lot bigger the more that you hang in there with your job. So, you can't really lose, I always say, if you don't quit your job. It's only when you quit your job that things become difficult, because you're working hard for cash. And so I'm here to kind of help you out. Look, I'm not some kind of gigantic financially successful dude, all right? I'm just a normal guy, but I have learned a lot so far. And I'm probably younger than a lot of people think I am, or a lot older than they think I am. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter. I don't care what kind of knowledge other people have. We all have different journeys, and we can all learn something if we give them the time. And I'm kind of trying to share with you some habits that have been working for me. And they call them habits because it can be a ritual, it can be a morning routine, an evening routine, it could be a habit of the way that you talk to yourself. And I'm not trying to sell you on 7 tips for success or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you that it's going to come a point in time where you got to follow your own path. And I'll say that again. You got to find a way to be comfortable in your own skin, because it does get lonely along the journey. However, you can fill that with faith. You can fuel yourself and fill yourself with different forms of self-love and care, and that's really what the meaning of life is. It's learning to love yourself more and more. I'll say that again. The meaning of life is self-love. It's learning to be comfortable in your own skin, because what's going to happen is, heaven forbid that your parents pass away, or something dramatic happens where a loved one you find is lost, and you got to learn to rebuild your life. So it's important to come home every night, not to the bottle of alcohol, but to yourself, and to be happy with where you are in life and content, because that's really all it is. It's being able to laugh at yourself and to have fun. Look, I'm human just like you are, and there's a lot of different things that hurt me. People hurt me, people's comments hurt me. I'm a very sensitive person. However, at the end of the day, and in the morning as well, first thing is I learn to love myself. I do yoga, or I'll lift weights, or I'll eat the right stuff, or I won't do this, I won't smoke cigarettes, or I won't do drugs, or I'm just very careful about loving myself and disciplining myself, whether it's sexually, craving too much sex, or too much masturbation, or whatever. I learn to discipline myself, because discipline is love. It's learning to love yourself and saying no. I think a lot of times how I was growing up was just do everything. You're 18 now, 19 now, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. And I think we all jump into that. We all jump into just going out of control and being an absolute wild horse, doing everything and everything you can, and it's only when you learn that you're at rock bottom that you need help. And there's so much more to life. I feel like when I lost one of my previous relationships with a beautiful young lady, she, it's hard when you don't love yourself. See, like if I would have loved myself during the relationship maybe more, or something like that, what ifs type of thing, I feel like it would be different, because you make different decisions when you love yourself unconditionally. And maybe this is going through one ear and out the other, or maybe it's not, or maybe I am speaking to you directly. But just, I guess, hear me out on this when I say, at the end of the day, you need to learn to love yourself. And some of the red flags are you drinking a lot? Are you smoking a lot? Are you masturbating a lot? Are you putting drugs in your body? That sort of thing. That's when you know, do you really love yourself? And I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, because everyone's got their own standards. For me, it's 30 days without masturbation, or something along that lines. And that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to encounter it at some point. You're going to have to face your reality, not my reality. You have to face your reality. And you're going to have to make important decisions about what is good for you and what is not. What kind of people are healthy for you and what kind are not. And the beautiful thing about it is it's your choice. You can choose to listen to me or you don't. You can choose to listen to other people or you don't. And I'm always grateful that you are, because I'm a pretty cool dude. and I love to help other people. And yeah, I may make my money elsewhere, I may do different things than you, but it doesn't mean that you are, I don't know, completely different, I guess. You know, we all have something in common. So if this message somehow, you know, speaks to you, I think it will. I love making these podcasts. I like to help as many people as I can. They say, I always have this weird thing, like, if you can help 1 billion people, you know, you yourself will become a billionaire. But the truth is, I'm not going to be around very long. I'm doing well. I'm fine. And I guess I'm kind of at this giving stage right now where I'm on one of my days off from work, and I don't really care necessarily who's listening to this podcast. I just want to, if you're listening to it at the right time, lucky you, because I don't get a lot of people who listen to me. And which is kind of sad and frustrating at the same time. But, you know, it's not all about fame. Sometimes if you can just get 1 or 2 or 3 people who listen to you, that can mean the difference. And I think that's what you'll find, is you can't please everybody. I have people who hate me. People really don't like me, you know, and good or bad, it's because they themselves aren't open to a lot of things. Especially, like I was telling you, communication is important. Learning to love yourself is important. And you're going to find that there is a lot of haters. Like when I walk into a room sometimes, I'm pretty much like, you know, I'll like pretend in my head to kick open the door of a restaurant, like, what's going on, everybody? You know, because you got to have that mindset, I feel like, when there are haters in the world and when there are also good people in the world. And it's important to me to do these podcasts because I know I'm going to catch 1 or 2 of you who do listen to what I say, and if you do, just really pay attention to what I'm trying to say. Don't think above or below or anything like that. Just try to hear what I'm saying. So when you're listening to what I'm saying, you gotta realize a few things. That there are select people that you need to listen to in this life, and then there's people who you just don't need to listen to. More importantly, I personally keep a journal. I keep a journal of every day of my life, and I use an electronic one, and there's plenty of them out there, but find which one works for you. They're on the App Store or the Google Play Store. You could even use a regular journal, but for me, I want to look back on the pictures, I want to look back on the audio recordings, and I want to help myself first. I listen to what I'm saying, and then I'll go over my audios later on, and I'll figure out that, man, Carl, you sound like an idiot. But that's okay, because at least I documented it, and I look back, and I figured out what I did wrong. So everything is about recording yourself, documenting yourself, and learning from yourself so that you can make improvements. And for me, it's just accelerated my life. Journaling has, or diary, whatever, it has just accelerated my life. And I'm really proud of that. I want to segue right into God, or Jesus, or whatever you believe in. Okay, let's be honest. The only way to fill your life is with love. And for me, the hardest thing was I had drug, alcohol problems and everything, and I needed to turn to something. And now that I've turned to God, it has changed my life. And the more you get to know me, the more I'll open up to you, and I'll let you know, kind of sort of what it is, like the mentality that you need to have going into it. There's a lot of wisdom out there, and a lot of it comes from the Bible. Keep it all. I naturally I'm still kind of hesitant about sharing some of the religious beliefs and money. There are certain things that I don't really talk about, and I feel like I'm kind of working on that a little bit. Just because the haters thing, and the more, I don't know, I just feel it, but nonetheless, realize that there's a lot of people are taking stuff from the Bible and they're repackaging it. So be mindful about who you're listening to, because more than not, they're just regurgitating the information like I am, and giving it to you, or they're selling it as a price or whatever. And so let's keep things practical, and let's keep our ears open, because there's a lot of things that work for people and a lot of things that work for me that I like to share to help you out with. I guess one thing is you don't really want to be, you kind of want to be greedy with some things. You got to realize that people need to learn. You can't just give them things they're not going to learn, right? We have to make mistakes. We either learn through pain or there's another one, like pain or motivation or inspiration. That's how we learn. I don't know what it was, but pain is a big one. You can learn when you burn yourself on the stove, you learn not to do that again. I mean, you really learn not to do that again. I'm burping over here. Anyway, so when I say listen to kind of what I'm saying, it's listen to how I talk. And how I talk is how I do everything, right? This is how I read, this is how I think. You can catch me writing this way, this kind of flow, this kind of speed, this kind of tone. This is how I approach life. And I'm always thinking and I'm always growing, and I absolutely do it for me. I take care of myself, and I'm always trying to learn. It doesn't have to necessarily be like learning or reading from a new book, as it is, well, it's how you read the book. I've noticed that things happen for me at the right place in the right time. It's because I'm in the right state and I'm ready to learn. And that's when things become more accelerating. They become more meaningful. As far as my daily routine goes, I work a very physical labor job. Even though I have a college degree, don't let it fool you, because there are things that you can learn from physical labor jobs too. One of the morning rituals, I guess you could say, that I try to do, right? Nobody actually ever sticks to those things daily. But what I try to do is I try to listen to different applications. I try to listen to some biblical things in the morning on YouTube, or there's an app called Abide that I listen to, and I try to listen to prayer and different things, and I try to get meditative with it. I do some of the different brain training games. I do a lot of yoga. But in the morning I try to meditate and stretch before I get to work, and I eat a very light breakfast. I usually don't drink coffee in the mornings during the work week because I want to I don't want to use the restroom that quickly. So I just try to drink a liter of water. I learned that one from Ed Milet. And I just try to go over what makes me happy, excited, proud, grateful, enjoyed. What do I enjoy about my life, what I'm committed to, and what I love. And let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah, and I journal a lot. I'm telling you, journaling is huge. You need to learn from yourself, not from me. Like, it's fun to listen to me when you're feeling good, but yeah. My goals. I list goals all the time. Every day I list 10 to 15 goals. I got that from Brian Tracy. And I'm constantly writing goals. Constantly. I've hit just a ton of goals. But that's only because I know where I'm aiming, and that's by writing goals. So, you list 10 goals, like I win $10 today by 5 p.m. It needs to look just like that. The next one would be I graduate college by 2013. It's got to be very specific, present tense, and in the personal tense, which means I, verbiage, date. Yeah, something like that. So there's more to it. But reading books has definitely helped, but journaling is so important. It's really important. And prayer is really important too. I love to pray. I ask really big. I ask God to take care of me. I ask Him to be there for me, to supply all my needs and everything like that. So, let's see, what else can we talk about before I post this episode to Spreaker and Anchor? I've been working on a lot of music lately, and I still have my blog at wolfofficial.com, where I, by the way, take donations. So yeah, I don't write blog posts as much there at wolfofficial.com, but it's still there. It's always going to be there. I'm trying to make that last forever. But when I do write something, it's probably meaningful. Usually it's really good quality content. I have it set up to where I can take donations on my podcast. It's all monetized now. I think they advertise on it and stuff like that, but that's not where my money comes from. And I focus a lot on producing music because that's what I love, and you should find something that you love too, that makes you happy and proud to not to grow up, to be a child forever. Something that makes you happy, that you were doing before you had to work. So, guys, honestly, I don't think about life too much. I don't take it too seriously. What I try to do is remain positive. I always try to have a good outlook, but there are little different habits that I do, such as journaling and thinking, trying to get to know me better. I think the more that I focus on me, the happier I am in my own skin. The goal thing is huge. I really believe in setting goals like 10 a day and night. And there's a lot of different things. Giving back to your community and loving your family, being creative, your career. Career is absolutely important. It's vital. Spiritual life is important. Your skills, always be learning skills. For me, it's customer service. My intellectual life, I'm constantly reading books. My health and fitness, I go to the gym all the time. I'll tell you that right now. I'm about to go right now, actually. My environment is huge. Lately, I've learned that you gotta, even though you may live in a low-income area, get out there and rent a 5-star hotel and stay there for the weekend. Watch how you change your whole mindset and your environment just changes. Do that every now and again and report back to me so I can see how you're doing. It'll change you in a good way. You'll feel inspired to write and stuff. Oh, by the way, I'm working on my book. I gotta come out with that book. I've been slacking so hard on that, but I got some good stuff. I got a new book coming out. It's gonna be on Amazon, and I'm just I cannot wait for that thing to come out. It takes longer for me to write book than it does music because I don't know why. Your friendships are important, although mine kind of are I spend more time with myself. I don't really hang out with just anybody because I realized kind of quickly that when I hang out with certain people, they drain my energy and I just cannot be around them for long periods of time. Your family's different, but friends are kind of, that is a different ballgame. Adventures, I do not go on that many adventures. But when I do, it's usually to someplace cool like mountains, camping, snowboarding, shopping or something, I just try to. I'm not that good. I don't go on that many vacations. And then there's love relationships, which I am terrible at. Do not listen to me about love. You yourself are probably married with X amount of kids, and I applaud you because I can't do that. Me, I'm more about waiting until I have the right person. And you're probably thinking, wow, this guy, he's never going to get married or have kids. And you're probably right, because not for me to put my fear on you, I've just seen so much that in my own belief systems, I am more geared towards, they really got to meet me at the right place at the right time. And the only way to do that for me is to focus on what I love. So I prefer to meet them somewhere, maybe like at church or, it's really got to be somewhere specific, like at a meetup, an entrepreneurial event, or I don't even know. But they got to meet me at the right place. So, having said that, we're rolling on 23 minutes, guys. Thank you so much. If you are listening, if you're one of those few, I applaud you. I know I can be boring at sometimes. That's why I try to inject some music into here, but hear me out. I speak the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. I say some things that might not resonate immediately, but come back, listen to some of my more stuff, get to know me, and I guess if there's any takeaway from this, it's that you can journal and learn to love yourself by saying no. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Wolf Official podcast. Please follow me on Instagram @WolfOfficial. Also, if you'd like to support or donate to me financially, please click the link in the description. You'll then be taken to a secure website where you can easily choose the amount you wish to give. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.